Hey guys, what's up? It's Sydney and welcome back to my channel and to my new series, Haunted Objects. So welcome back to the creepy shit. For the first episode of this new series, we are going to be talking about the Myrtles Plantation mirror, which is located in St. Francisville, Louisiana. Quick side note, mirrors have always been a subject of the paranormal. Their mythological theories and beliefs have actually been a part of a lot of different cultures. It is widely believed that mirrors actually act as portals to other planes and dimensions. Not only are they used essentially for transportation, but they actually can trap spirits as well. And this comes from the belief that if you do not cover all of the mirrors in a home or a room where someone has passed away, then their spirit will be trapped in the mirror. A lot of people and cultures, different cultures, believe that this is a vital thing to do right after someone passes. And if this is not done, then like I said, the soul or spirit cannot move on or be recycled. And unfortunately, something similar in legend happened with the Myrtles Plantation mirror. So according to legend, and the history on this is actually very wonky because a lot of the legend has actually been disproven, but I'm gonna go over it anyway. So according to legend, there are two children and a mother, souls or spirits that are trapped in this mirror. Now, like I said, there are many different stories and versions on how these events went, so just bear with me. Now, this took place in the early 1800s, so it is definitely hard to say what actually happened as far as what the legend tells us. But the most popular version is that in the early 1800s, Clark and Sarah Woodruff had a slave named Chloe or Cleo. It's mainly Chloe is what I've seen in reports, but some reports say Cleo as well. Now, Chloe was eavesdropping and heard some specific business that Clark Woodruff was discussing, and because of this, he actually cut her ear off. It's either ear or ears, I don't know, but that is what is the beginning of this legend, is that her ears were cut off. She was forced to wear a green turban. She was afraid she would lose her life as punishment for eavesdropping. She was afraid that Clark would send her into the field to work, where she would be whipped as motivation to work harder, which is disgusting. I think that goes without saying. But needless to say, she was definitely in fear for her life. So she came up with a plan on how to get back into Clark Woodruff's good graces. She would bake a cake with poison in it. The poison was made from oriental leaves, but she must have measured incorrectly as far as the poison or the amount of poison that she was putting in this cake goes, because within the day, the mother and two daughters had passed. Now, the motive as to why she did this differs as far as who you ask about the legend and the different reports online about it. So this is one of the more popular versions, but the motive is still debatable. Some say this is the reason, and some say that it was because Clark Woodruff forced Chloe to be his mistress against her will. But regardless of the motive, the reasoning behind the haunted mirror is because when the mother and two daughters passed, they were rushing around the house in haste to try to get all the mirrors covered, and that way their souls could move on or be recycled. And regardless of the legend, death records actually proved these facts to be false. But regardless of the legend, these facts were proven false due to death records that show that Sarah and most of the children died from yellow fever. So I'm going to go a little bit more into that because I am going to do a part 2 to this, because the plantation itself has a great amount of history. It goes all the way back to 1794 when it was constructed. I just didn't want to get too much into the history because I feel like that would make it more about the house, and this is about the mirror. So as far as the history goes, that is what is said to have happened. That is why the mirror is cursed or haunted. And a lot of people say that they can see handprints in the mirror, the girls' faces, Sarah's face, and some have actually reported to see Clark's face as well in the mirror. But like I said, those facts were proven false, and I actually found one report that said that Clark actually died years later in New Orleans and was buried there. So I'm not sure how much of that is true and how much of that is false. Like I said, it was the early 1800s, and a lot of reports are very contradicting in this subject. If you want to look up some facts, and maybe if you find any information that I missed on these facts, you can leave it in the comments down below, because I know everybody would be interested who is watching this. But not only these stories, a lot has been reported to have happened in the plantation itself. So there is no doubt in my mind that if someone was killed in the home and the mirror was not covered, then it is very likely that souls would be trapped there or not able to move on or be recycled because they are trapped. This would only increase the mirror's chances of being haunted or cursed. So in my opinion, it probably is, because there's so much history with the land itself. But I definitely would be interested in going to see this place. I think it would be awesome, and to take a picture in the mirror would be totally cool. But a lot of the time with the pictures, a lot of people mistake the old wood in the background with imperfections on it for being figures and faces and things like that. And this is, I believe, called matrixing. But yeah, it's basically when people make things out of nothing, which is very understandable. Your mind can play tricks on you and all of that. But I am kind of skeptical in nature, as far as like, I will, you know, put a reason behind something if it doesn't make sense to me in that aspect. Yeah, but I think it would be really cool to go here and stay. It is actually a bed and breakfast, so you can attend this place and pretty much go ghost hunting, because the only person that is left on the property, I heard from a friend, is the actual groundskeeper, and my friend said that he saw a figure while he was there, which is actually very cool. So I think that I would really like to go to this place, and it would be really cool to check it out and maybe stay for a couple of days and see if I can find anything. That would be awesome. I really think that this mirror is probably haunted in some way, shape, or form. So it would be really cool to go see it and maybe stay for a weekend and enjoy a weekend with some ghosts and just hang out. But let me know what you guys think down below, if you think that this mirror is possibly haunted or not, because there were supposedly 10 murders on this property. So like I said, if they didn't cover the mirror, then chances are their soul might be trapped in the mirror. But let me know what you guys think down below, and we can discuss it a little bit more in the comments. If you want to go ahead and give me a follow, you can. It's at Sydney's Poisonous, and my jewelry shop where I sell cute little pieces and stuff like this and crystals and things of that nature is at Perfect Poison Shop, and on Etsy, Perfect Poison Shop. And if you want to follow the YouTube channel, it's at Sydney's Poisonous YouTube. And stay tuned, because next week we are going to be going over another haunted object. I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Bye.